Imagine your 𝗕𝗓𝗪 crypto portfolio exploding 5x. There is a possible staggering 435% move that may be on the table here for the price action of 𝗕𝗓𝗪. That is enough to turn a small fortune into a life-changing windfall. But is this just yet another crypto pipe dream, or is 𝗕𝗓𝗪 poised for an explosive, epic 2024? There are many analysts on YouTube, on Twitter, on X, talking about a potential explosion, but can we trust these predictions? Well, in today's video, we are going to look into this very possibility. Is there 453% gains on the table for the price action of 𝗕𝗓𝗪? Let's not waste any more time, let's get into it. Well, for this very possibility to happen, we would have to see 𝗕𝗓𝗪 grow from 10.7 cents to a staggering 57.6 cents. So where's the rationale and the reasoning behind this potential breakout for 𝗕𝗓𝗪? Well, first of all, we can take a look at previous areas where 𝗕𝗓𝗪 has found support and found its resistance. And on this daily Binance chart, we can see these very interesting levels. Three of them highlighted here: 57.6 cents, 26.95 and 18.6. But what we can see going on most interestingly at this current moment in time on this daily chart for 𝗕𝗓𝗪, we are finding support at a historical level. Right here on the charts, we can see not only are we finding support on the daily equilibrium, but on this yellow trend line at 9.98 cents. This has been a historical level for 𝗕𝗓𝗪's price. Now, first of all, back in 2022, this was the area where 𝗕𝗓𝗪 was fighting to stay higher than, and the bears trying to get this one closed lower than. Ultimately, the bears winning this case, where we did see a dramatic pullback down onto the bear market low 3.56 cents. This has been the bounce for 𝗕𝗓𝗪, where once again we came up and found resistance on this 9.98 cent level. Yet another correction for 𝗕𝗓𝗪 led us to come up and test this once again in January of 2024. From there, we did of course experience yet another correction, finding support on its 200 daily EMA. That has been the crucial turning point for 𝗕𝗓𝗪's price. We have then came up, tested that 9.98 cent level, broke higher than there, and yet again found another retracement. But this time things look a bit different. We are finding support at 9.98 cents, and is this the indication that support has been found and we are looking for that next explosive move? Testing 18.6, 26.9, perhaps 57.6 cents. We want to analyze this move, potential patterns that are playing out, something that is looking very interesting. So the idea here that has been touted, and it's one we will have to keep our eyes on, an inverted head and shoulder pattern. Now, the potential that this one does have to play out, make your own decision on this. Personally, I don't love trading head and shoulders patterns. I don't think the success rate is great. But looking at this on a more macro time frame, it gives more room to leverage that position, to make adjustments. It is a macro look on this one. And as we can see on the chart here for 𝗕𝗓𝗪, the idea of this head and shoulder pattern we can see is entirely possible. Now, first of all, the left shoulder starting here back in September of 2021, a dramatic drop to the downside where we seen 18.6 cent hit, and we started that move to the upside, giving us the neckline here in March of 2022, where of course 𝗕𝗓𝗪 suffered a dramatic pullback to 3.586 cents. Finding its head at this point, 𝗕𝗓𝗪 is now looking for that push to the upside, and that of course will be coming at the neckline 26.95 cents. And from its current price action at the time of recording, that is a staggering 152.58% in gains. Now, make of this as you wish, guys. I'd love to know what you think of a potential daily head and shoulder pattern to bring us back up to the neckline at 26.95 cents. Will 𝗕𝗓𝗪 push up that 152%? But the move doesn't stop there. We would of course expect another retracement, giving us the right shoulder, back down towards that 18.6 cent level. Then of course from there, like we can see in the description, another move to the upside, giving us the move, the formation in that right shoulder, targeting the first point at 57.6 cents. This move within itself, a long-term play for HBAR, would complete out a head and shoulder pattern. But as we know, we typically tend to see the 1.618 movement hit for the head and shoulder. And that would target up here towards 94.15 cents. Not a requirement, but this is a typical movement. So could HBAR push up to that 94 cent level? If that is the possible move, 776% gains would be absolutely tremendous. But as we can see, the idea of pushing up in this right shoulder to that 57.6 cent level would take us up 435% from the current price. Let me know what you think of that kind of movement for HBAR. Is it entirely a possible move in 2024? If we're giving times on this one, it's not something I would personally look for. You can never time the market. We don't know what's going to happen next. But in terms of this pattern, the head and shoulder, the inverse head and shoulder for HBAR, well, if this pattern does play out, it will be a fantastic movement on the daily time frame. But another idea we may just have here for HBAR is the Adam and Eve pattern. Now again, this one still in that daily time frame. Again, another one that doesn't have a high success rate, but we can see this potentially on the chart for HBAR. So what can we see with this pattern? Well, we had a dramatic drop to the downside into the Adam of this pattern. We of course then had the push to the upside. From there, we of course come into the Eve pattern, where we have now seen the price retest that upper band. But as we can see in the description, the movement we see in that Eve pattern, we tend to see happen coming out of it. So taking that 100% move that we do see in the Eve pattern overall here and bring it over to the swing high, well, that looks for 147.37% in gains. And that again takes us up in the idea of that bigger head and shoulder pattern. So a bit of confluence here, a move up towards that 26.95 cent level is entirely possible. A bit of confluence here between these two separate charts, both of them giving the same ideas of a dramatic move that may be on the horizon for HBAR. And again, if we are looking at the head and shoulder pattern, a more long-term play may see HBAR head on up towards 57 cents. So there is a possible dramatic amount of returns on the table here for HBAR, and I think it's no secret this is not a project that I love. It's not one that I'm invested in, but it's an interesting look at that movement. There is a potential for gains there, and it'll be very interesting to see within time if this one does indeed play out. As we did discuss earlier in the video, this area where HBAR is currently sitting in, where it's previously found support resistance, found resistance again, broke on through it, we are finding this as support in the current moment. This drop to the downside itself is a critical one. We do not want to realistically close lower than 9.98 cents. Stochastic momentum is in the favour for a continuation to the upside. The weekly chart also in our favour for a continuation to the upside for HBAR. But guys, I'd love to know your thoughts and your opinions on this one in the comment section down below. A bit of a different look at a chart on a more macro time frame. Is Hedera Hashgraph in your portfolio? Are you banking on a fantastic move to the upside, or is this hopium and we're not going to see these moves? Personally, I think this is a bit of a high ask for HBAR to push on up to. We know that the community is disgruntled with the price action of HBAR. There's petitions out there. There's a lot going on with HBAR that is not really covered in the media. But let me know your thoughts on everything in the comment section down below. And yesterday I covered off VeChain, which looks like it's on a potential breakout. That video is right here, guys. I encourage you to head on over and check it out.